March 8, 2014, started like any other day. At Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia, passengers boarded Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. Their destination was Beijing, China. The plane, a Boeing 777, was a common sight in the skies. It was considered a safe and reliable aircraft. Among the 239 people on board were families, tourists and business travelers. They had their lives ahead of them, unaware of the mystery that awaited them. At 12:41 a.m. local time, MH370 took off. The first leg of the journey was uneventful. The pilots made routine contact with air traffic control. Everything seemed normal. Then, about 38 minutes into the flight, something strange happened. MH370's transponder, which broadcasts its location, stopped transmitting. The plane vanished from radar screens. Air traffic controllers were immediately concerned. They tried to contact MH370, but there was no response. The plane had disappeared without a trace. The disappearance of MH370 sent shockwaves around the world. It was an unprecedented event. How could a large passenger plane simply vanish? Families of the passengers were desperate for answers. Governments and aviation experts were baffled. The mystery of MH370 became one of the biggest aviation enigmas in history. The last confirmed contact with MH370 came at 1:19 a.m. Malaysian air traffic control received a routine message from the cockpit. The voice on the other end was calm and professional. "Good night, Malaysian 370, the pilot said. These were the last words anyone heard from MH370. What happened in the minutes and hours after that last transmission remains a mystery. The search for MH370 was the largest and most expensive in aviation history. It involved dozens of countries and cost hundreds of millions of dollars. The initial search focused on the South China Sea, where the plane was last seen on radar. Ships and planes scoured the area, but no trace of the aircraft was found. As days turned into weeks, the search area expanded. Investigators analyzed satellite data and ocean currents. They discovered that MH370 had deviated from its planned course. Instead of heading northeast towards Beijing, it had turned southwest and flown for hours over the Indian Ocean. One of the initial theories about MH370's disappearance was a catastrophic mechanical failure. Some experts suggested that a sudden decompression could have disabled the crew and led to a rapid descent. Others pointed to the possibility of an engine fire or a structural failure. However, there was no evidence to support these theories. The plane had a good safety record, and the pilots had not reported any problems before the disappearance. Section 5. Could the pilot be involved? As the search continued, investigators began to consider the possibility of human intervention. Some theories focused on the pilots. Was it possible that one of them had deliberately crashed the plane? There was no evidence to suggest that either pilot had any motive for such an act. They were both experienced and respected aviators with families of their own. Section 6. The possibility of hijacking. Another theory was that MH370 had been hijacked. In the wake of the 9/11 attacks, security measures at airports around the world had been tightened. However, it was still possible that someone had smuggled a weapon or explosives onto the plane. But if MH370 had been hijacked, why hadn't the hijackers made any demands? Where had they taken the plane? The lack of answers only deepened the mystery. Section 7. Aliens and other theories. The disappearance of MH370 captured the imagination of the world. In the absence of concrete information, conspiracy theories flourished. Some people believed that the plane had been abducted by aliens. Others speculated that it had landed at a secret military base. While these theories were intriguing, they were not supported by any evidence. The most likely explanation remained that something had gone wrong with the plane, or that there had been some kind of human intervention. Section 8. Pieces of the puzzle, the debris. In July 2015, a piece of debris from MH370 washed ashore on Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. The debris, a flaperon which is part of the wing, was positively identified by investigators. This was the first physical evidence that the plane had crashed. Over the next few years, more debris was found on islands and coastlines around the Indian Ocean. These pieces provided some clues about the plane's final moments, but they did not solve the mystery of why it crashed or where the rest of the wreckage might be. Section 9. Searching for answers. The search for MH370 was officially suspended in 2017. However, the mystery of its disappearance continues to haunt the families of the passengers and crew. The lack of closure has been agonizing for them. They deserve to know what happened to their loved ones. In the years since the disappearance, there have been calls for the search to be resumed. New technologies, such as advanced sonar and underwater drones, could be used to scan the ocean floor for the wreckage. However, the cost of such a search would be enormous, and there is no guarantee of success. The disappearance of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time. It is a reminder of the power of the unknown and the limits of our understanding.